Back for the last match of the night here in the Blastar 6 Asia League. It's the South Asian Derby. HASIB Warriors versus Knock Knock here on Nighthaven Labs. Had a little tech issue, but we're back into it. 0-0 is the score. We've seen the op bans, and time to dig in. This is not just for bragging rights, guys. This is essentially the winner keeping alive their chances of going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like we've been teased quite a lot getting into this game, James. The music,
Teased the word that you would use?
There's another word I would use, but it's probably been overused and fairly inappropriate, so I'm not going to say that. I'll let you imagine what I want to say. It starts with E and ends with J.
Okay.
No, on a serious note, yeah, can't jump in.
You're actually teasing me about this word right now.
Wait, don't you know what I'm talking about?
No.
E, D, G, E. the hottest word of the week.
I feel like I'm being edged right now with you not telling me what the word is.
Oh boy. Well, Blitz in play then for the first round, and I'm keen to see how effective it's going to be in this matchup. Some insight from Mentalist from Bleed earlier tonight, talking about they don't feel the need to ban out shield operators. They feel like they have the systems in place to be able to deal with them, and teams aren't particularly effective with them in hand. So, see how it goes tonight. Sandy aggressing through con though.
Oh, surely he dies. This is very ballsy for him to make a move so far.
Oh no!
No!
No way!
There's no way that misdroned him. It could be huge here.
I think he still dies.
Sneaking for it. He's about to be met by the glass. The drone came back for him. HASIB takes him down. That was a little bit scary for a second, but on lock is Knock Knock.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
What did you just tag me in Discord? That's
Nothing.
That's very
not
inappropriate.
Not appropriate for this broadcast.
Well, it kind of is, but it's also a joke that no one's going to care about. Yeah.
We should talk about the game, guys.
Well, will there be a game? That's the big question. Knock Knock are the ones with the pressure to perform in this one, I feel. Or at least to remain competitive. They don't go in as the favourites. The HASIB Warriors have garnered the respect of a lot of the Asia region in the early stage. The team's tipping them to be a potential fighter for the mid-pack, and I think they've proven that's a possibility in the early stages of competition. Xenox on the roam also gets taken down by the shield, and I think that very much answers my question as to how effective the Blitz may be in this match. The answer so far is very.
The HASIB Warriors used Blitz. It was extremely effective. Knock Knock used Banned Monty. It was pretty damn useless because you can still play Blitz.
Bomb located by attacker.
Yeah, I mean, this is a flawless start. Not just in name, but in actuality. No, never mind. A consolation frag because the Blitz got a little bit greedy with the aim down sights, but no questions about how that round went down. HASIB Warriors looking fire.
Yeah, Knock Knock can't be reliant on solo lurk roams. It's not going to work against the Blitz. You need to roam in a pack, or you can consolidate on site and lean into, area denial ops like a Legion, Goyo, combo. Nitro Self from down below to protect against plays like that. Simply being picked off site, even with the likes of the Legion in play, not being particularly effective is something that, we'll have to see adjusted. Now, top floor is a little bit different. The dynamic changes quite a bit defensively as the roam game isn't quite as prevalent. Back at the last round, Sandy gets picked off. Xenox soon to follow. Inside of Pantry, they had that rotation over towards the bending staircase, but it couldn't be used. But maybe an element of the fall-off roam as well, not quite being timed correctly. Maybe they could have just fallen back and tried to consolidate, but met his advantage would have been tough. So, Knock Knock not off to the best of starts. We'll see how they go here for the second round. The Blitz is going to be what seems to be a mainstay here for HASIB, so we'll see how they go about countering it.
I would say keep using that Blitz until it don't work no more. It's certainly working right now. At what point are we going to start seeing Knock Knock really lean into some Blitz counters like Capcan, Legion? I guess we have Malusi, we might have some barbed wire on some of these other ops. I wouldn't really count the Chunker as much of a counter, to be honest. A little bit of a roam downstairs now from Xenox. trying to protect the position underneath. That's usually where you'll see the attack. Put some pressure on underneath this IT wall. Kill the Bandit Juggler. Bandit is in position, and I don't see anyone at the window down below from the attacking side. Zdux is there to protect against it. Sandy is pretty much protected right now. We need something more than just, I mean, it looks like they are just going to go for double hard breach and EMP, which is not going to be enough. Bang.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, that was really well played. We'll see the Bandit. Okay, the smoke isn't going to do anything. You don't need to be able to see the Bandit Juggle. Just a good Bandit Juggler doesn't. As soon as he sees the blue glow of that EMP start to go down, he'll put his first battery and then he goes straight onto the second one. He'll be able to trick both walls. No worries.
Oh.
No math ban, by the way.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Yes, no mav ban. Sophia's still up for vert possibility. Don't even really necessarily need to send the play down below and pressure it from that position. You can do it for the safety of outside. I know Zdux was contesting, but even then, it shouldn't be that hard to play against. Either way, though, it's not necessarily round over. Maybe if Baz can find an entry over towards Garage, you could ease some of this pressure. And he does, timing on Jitter. He almost gets the second, but good trade.
They're still waiting for this wall. Okay, finally, wall's open. And perhaps the round as well. Taha wants to go for a jump in here in electrical.
Attackers recovered the
A lot of time still to be done. I don't think they've actually fully cleared. Okay, so they have breach con. I'm a little bit behind on the times. This isn't so bad here for HASIB. However, unfortunately, losing a player is always a bit of a red flag. Numbers have waned. They still have any... Oh, they don't have secondary hard breach left. I don't think they have any exothermics left either, so the site wall is going to stay intact. 30 seconds to play. They're going to need to leverage this blitz as Taha seems to make his way forward. He's got to worry about that Banshee. He's also got to worry once he gets inside about Kiba barriers, about advanced positions. HASIB has made his way forward, found the opener. This looks very doable now as the blitz gets aggressive, but ADSing is never going to be a sure fight. Straight into a crossfire. HASIB goes down. Very convincing round for Knock Knock.
Yeah, good work in the end. I think that was really just a continuation from the early struggles we saw in terms of the hard breach from HASIB. Just some of the fundamentals a little bit sloppy, trying to take shortcuts here and there. They did find that opening eventually over towards Garage. On screen now, that was Baz, good trade. And then the rest of the timing of the push was a little bit out of sync. It did an okay job keeping pace, but I think that was another key moment. The blitz falling immediately and not having any direct pressure in towards site. Is where it ultimately did fall apart. So Knock Knock doing a good job there. Again, great bandit tricking, good denial of blitz. Two conditions that are going to be pretty important in this first half.
Maybe it'll be a back and forth game after all. Looks like Knock Knock are trying to do a similar kind of setup on this top floor for their ground floor setup. The same reinforcements, the same rotate hole in the middle of the wall. I feel like I don't see that very often these days.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah.
Attackers are
We'll see
moving
how it
to
works.
defuse a bomb.
Again, it's important to note that these two teams are pretty isolated in terms of scrims. As far as I understand, they do scrim some SCA teams, but even OS is a stretch at times due to the ping diff. There might be some scrimming with UAE. I'm not entirely sure.
That would be gnarly. If these guys got to scrim teams like Falcons and GK, that would actually be insanely good practice for them.
Maybe they
Those
have
teams. I mean, you can't imagine the ping would be that bad, right?
Well, we did.
Let's,
we did have an earlier
Osin's-
game on UAE servers, so
Yeah, which is ludicrous, but yeah, OS and C's teams would be lucky to get scrims with teams like GK and Falcons. So, especially with the achievements in the past, maybe not their current iterations, but at least previous iterations. I mean, just different playstyles, because those teams also scrim EU teams, so you kind of get this trickle-down effect, don't you?
now let's see if they have troubles again over towards the main breach. It is being bandit tricked once more. First some were dealt with, but Sandy unable to get the second, so at least line of sight established, and that will now be a breach that can be entered. Taha prepping over towards electric would help push through on the blitz. Could spot forward for info deep on this extension above. Up close to Sandy, tricking the wall. This should be a free swing.
Why is this ADSing so normalized for Taha?
Yeah.
Like, the point of playing Blitz is not to go and take fights. Like, if you think you're going to win that fight, pick a real operator. Don't try and do that with Blitz because you got a pistol. That's such a disappointment.
Yeah, needed the rest of his team to help cover against the backline so that he can help push forward. We'll see if it unravels the rest of the attack though, as they at least fight back and find Z-Dux. Pretty keen to hold on to control. Top warehouse, minute to go on the clock. Sandy as well, still in command. If they're able to break this down, it could flip the tide for the attack, but unfortunately Din does fall. And this should probably be the cue for Jittery to get out.
Oh, he's not able to do so though. Good cutoff from Fatah. Despite the Kiba barrier almost protecting Jittery, that was a nice attempt. You can't really fault him there. And plenty of time has been wasted. So HASIB, they're in a solid position, but still time for them to mess this up. Time for Knock Knock to just really hang on. All they got to do is bide their time. They don't have a rotate between sites, which is a little bit awkward, but it looks like they're going to be trying to deny from below. 20 seconds to play. I mean, HASIB have just got to go. You can't keep on droning forever. Awkward positions now. Envy could potentially win this round, but he's been cut off. HASIB seems to know where he is. They're going to go straight into control room, pinching him down. He wins his fight, though. Envy is instrumental now. They have to 2v1 him. Where's this plant? There is no plant. What on earth are HASIB doing? They're wasting so much time. Knock Knock don't have to do a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good fall off there in the end from Knock Knock. It looks like there's maybe some frustration coming through at the moment for HASIB. Taha getting a little bit animated on the cams, maybe questioning where the support from his team was earlier, but as you alluded to as well, ADS with the blitz straight up into that fight, especially after the initial hesitation was not the play. He also whiffed his shots. He still had the opportunity to win it out. Fatah did a good job in catching Jittery on that fall off. 5 seconds to go, 2 versus 2, unable to connect the pieces together on the attack. And so Knock Knock putting their best foot forward in this match to kick things off.
I don't know what the pass mark here is for HASIB. But I'd be gunning for 3, especially with how good they looked in that first round. I'd be disappointed if they can't really fire up here in the next couple. That round was a big red flag, though. I don't know why, with so much time, they're still running out. Like 2v2, and the round ends to the buzzer. That shouldn't be happening. Knock Knock played it well. They know the win conditions. They didn't over-aggress. We've seen that from less experienced teams, from teams that are a little bit nervous, a little bit rattled. I think Knock Knock, they match up really well against HASIB's Warriors. They just know this squad so well, and they're not going to stress about it. That's why they have the fortitude to just sit back in a moment like that.
I like this comp from HASIB. The Ying Grim blitz combo can be really powerful and overwhelming the defense on the site. See if it hinders them at all in terms of roam clear at all, and there are multiple players off site. Furthest away being Sandy's second floor server. Maybe an opportunity to pressure a little bit more directly, try and force those defenders back towards the site. And in fact, that is directly going to be the play with an aggressive push.
I like this. Get direct about it. Taha, you need to use this blitz well. Don't go for an aim down sights push. Runs the Buck has a C4. That could be a win con here for Knock Knock. The flash is really good though. But a C4 does come through. He doesn't need vision in order to go and nail that C4. What a vertical angle though for Jittery. This is beautiful. And the push is faltered now for HASIB Warriors. Knock Knock are so aware of this, and they dominate a flawless round. They found their form 3 on the trot.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to be blunt. That is disrespectful towards Knock Knock going for that kind of play, thinking that that was going to work. It was pretty clear they had pressure off site. As you can see, they had that vertical line of sight. They go for a turtle plant on Blitz again, so misplaying the shield. When, in my eyes, that's the situation where you just flood deep, use the Blitz, get vision forward. You have the Ying to flash anyone out as well, if need be. Force the defense back on a retake. Try and plant in some kind of off-meta position, especially when protected from Vert, if possible. This was just such an oversimplified play and it didn't seem that they had a read on the
Why
vert
did
up
they go
above.
for the replant here from Din? Yeah. Well, disrespectful is a good word, guys. Maybe naive is also applicable here. I feel like HASIB thought that was going to work for some reason, and it just wasn't. That works when it's so unexpected, but these teams know each other so well. Knock Knock had that read from the get-go. Like, even while full flash, Rhymes with Buck is still able to land that C4. And even though the plant was quick, the Roamer is still in position to be on that vert line of sight. I think HASIB Warriors now probably going to get a little bit stressed out. They've tried again and again to make this blitz work, and Taha's going to stick it for the 5th round in a row now. It looked so good at roam clearing in the first round, but in terms of executing, it has been lackluster.
Yeah, crunch time for HASIB needing to prove themselves a little bit more in this matchup. Goes without saying, though, that maybe when the sides flip, Knock Knock could have their own teething issues on attack as well, and so...
I mean, on that note, having a look historically, both these teams have played quite a bit in Nighthaven. Knock Knock's played 7 times the last 6 months. 44% win rate on the attack, 67 on defense, so they prefer defense. Finally, opposite story for HASIB. They played this 3 times the last 6 months, 57% attack, only 29 on defense. So both of the teams right now are actually on their favored side. And HASIB, I mean, they really need to pick it up on defense. 29% is not good enough. They need to make sure that they get a few more attacks to go with it. And it comes down to this bandit juggle.
Yep. Again, they mistimed the first Salmo and it wouldn't have mattered anyway, but a good bandit trick. Again, they need vertical pressure down below. It's simple stuff. Teams
Why are they not going for it?
have innovated months ago and implemented that into their strategy to pressure the bandit from below. You can even bring something like a Deimos if you want to try and net kill from it as well. But instead, they're just trying to brute force it. And they're absolutely screwing it up. This is... I don't know if they tilted or if they've just given up or what, but they are doing the exact same thing they did last time with the exact same result. There is no other point of pressure to stop Sandy from tricking this wall.
How'd they end up getting the wall open last time? I legit cannot remember.
I'm not too sure. My feed is broken though, so...
Oh, okay, nice. Well, in that case, I'll continue talking through this. Sandy has once again locked down the bandit juggle. Ooh! Baz is about to find a player. He does win it. Lucky with the last bullet in his magazine, he gets the down. The flip now from HASIB could work. The blitz. Another aim down sights opportunity.
That's better. 40 seconds then on the clock and an opportunity for HASIB to double their scoreline. Rhymes with Buck low. Taha gets no value again from the blitz, but at least this time almost traded. I was going to say was. But it's just the player prone behind the desk. Rhymes with Buck still survives, but finally taken down. Sandy over towards pillar 1v4. Surely won't be able to make this work though.
Man, solo bandit juggles the whole wall, but still has to 1v4 to win the round. That's rough for poor Sandy. Well, big round for HASIB. Despite failing on that win condition, they flipped the switch. They found an opening elsewhere. They forced top blue. I like that from them. They've brought themselves back into this game. It's been a hell of a while since they found a round on the board. Now they've shown that they can do it on the top floor and on the bottom floor. For the final round of the half, Knock Knock are going back to control room storage. Now this was also a winnable one for HASIB. Guys, their roam clear was pretty solid. They were just really slow in the late round. And unfortunately, we've lost a gangster. We literally just lost a gangster. He just left the squad. Why don't you hate it when one of your gangsters just leaves the squad?
Yeah, I've never lost a gangster before, but...
My squad is so full of gangsters.
Me and the homies rolling up for some most ranked at 3 AM.
Oh, bro.
Well, the game's continuing, so that's the main thing. But can we cast our minds back to what the hell happened IT Breach again? Sandy is just absolutely farming bandit tricks on the wall because there is zero pressure down below. As you've also said, there is no Maverick ban. So, just two of the big basic fundamentals HASIB are overlooking. Yeah.
Also, in the end there, we actually just got to see all those fights that went on out. I feel like Knock Knock was just way over peaking there. Instead of playing the crossfires, the player at the desk in sight can just not peek and wait for the guys to walk up that hallway And then he's got a crossfire with his teammate who's playing on the bomb and his teammates on the other side. Instead, just giving 1v1s. Knock Knock, also the Irizarmy player at Rafters, died early, overpeaking. Yeah. Fortunate for Knock Knock that they let that one slip, because this could be quite a dominant game. No way, what is this, guys?
This is innovation.
Have we ever seen this before?
This is innovation. Wait, what's he doing to the wall?
Do my eyes deceive me?
Wait, how do you... Wait, can he open the wall by doing that, James? I don't think I've ever seen this.
I think what happens is if you use the torch is really, really hot. And because the wall gets nervous seeing such a hot torch, it's like, oh my god, I'm melting. And then it just melts.
That might... Oh!
Now that's hot. That is hot. That's why you don't bring Maverick, guys. Guys, what are we talking about? Don't bring Maverick. He's going to get C4'd. That is actually some gnarly tech from Knock Knock. They've got it down pat. Sandy is my goat.
Man, he just got destroyed on that wall. He got pinned against that wall and blown up. That was gnarly.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Oh boy. Well, did they actually end up getting the wall open? They do have secondary hard breach still, so they could literally just shoot off the bandits, but I don't know if they have. They also brought Twitch, so they did double down on the hard breach denial, although I don't think they've actually gone back on the wall.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
70 seconds, but keep in mind that this is not a top floor attack, just to try and clear for some pressure above. Keep an eye on Taha as well, still outside electrical, and he could be a key player in unlocking these positions.
Yeah, so they didn't actually open IT in the end, and I have to assume that the Bark doesn't have secondary hard breach. He does. He just died. He could have gone, because they opened up enough to deny the bandit jungle. He could have gone and opened up this IT breach, and then they would have a crossfire onto Jittery's position. But instead he went elsewhere on the map and died solo. That's quite disappointing. Fortunately now, Taha, who had an opportunity, gets burnt to a crisp. Good job from the Tachanka on site. A bit desperate now for HASIB Warriors. Fatah against 4 makes it a 1v3. It's going to be an ace or bust situation.
Yeah, another round unraveled. And a poor end to the half for HASIB Warriors, although Knock Knock don't have too much to complain about. Sandy with the trade. And at the conclusion of the half, Knock Knock with a 4-2 lead. They did a pretty good job throughout that half encountering the blitz. And hard breach continued to be a problem for HASIB, but the dynamic now shifts. Typically, this is where we would be saying HASIB can fight their way back into the match, but as you highlighted before, the first half was actually the teams on their preferred sides.
Yeah. Let's see this. Let's get the slow-mo replay of that bad boy. Man, Sandy is 100% like the best player on Knock Knock right now.
I think they should have just banned Bandit.
I think they should just ban Sandy. Can they, like, unplug his internet or something?
We get another rehost after you said that.
Give it Sandy DCs.
I will be very mad.
I will be starting an inquisition.
A royal commission.
The royal commission. Alright. Well, it's the flip of the switch. The flip of the sides. Can it turn the tide for HASIB? I actually am kind of kicking myself. I really should have gone with Knock Knock. I think, like, I should have looked historically at these results and said that I think Knock Knock have the better matchup, but perhaps just a recency bias. Like, HASIB have been pretty good this stage. They could have beaten or taken points off Bleed in that Cafe game. They're probably the team that's looked the best against Bleed so far, to be honest. And I think that coloured my opinion of this match a little bit too much. I should have gone with my guns, like I did in the Knock Knock Fury game, which is another sub-regional rivalry with the Thai teams.
Have you ever been to Thailand before, James?
I have been to the airport in Bangkok. And,
does that count though? When someone says they've been to a country but it's only the airport, I feel like that doesn't count.
It doesn't really count, but I answered your question, did I not? I have been to the airport in Bangkok. If that doesn't count, then no, I have not been to Thailand. However, I had quite a few hours to kill, and I tried a lot of Thai food and beer.
Nice. My goat. Not Sandy then.
This.
Okay.
Bang. Sandy is the best. Like, literally, no
He's
one can touch
MVP
this
for
guy.
now?
He's MVP. Him or Taha.
Yeah, I would agree. Din then,
Comes the Deimos.
yeah, pinged out by that death mark, but HASIB wants peace. Able to find a pick as well. And so this round may still be winnable, especially if Din is able to get back towards site, which he has. So that's a big play from HASIB.
Mute Jam is providing a little bit of problem, but there we go. Taken out. 3v2, really the priority here for Knock Knock has to be just finding where these last two players are and then formulating a way to act on that information quickly with a nice execute.
Ooh, I like this drone inside a tank from Invit. As long as he doesn't move it too much and get it taken out, but I think it has survived. There's so much time for Knock Knock to just go about this in a systematic fashion. HASIB up above. Position known. Only 30 HP.
Does have the position to try and deny this plant vertically as well. Knock Knock need to make sure that they don't make the same mistake we saw from HASIB as the time runs low. They confirm that kill. And Rhymes with Buck has also rotated with Diffuser. They're going for a hatch drop. And now Din has to read this. 1v3, but such a winnable position because the plant spot could be exposed, but Rhymes with Buck never even gets to that point, and he's very happy about it too. Big round win for Knock Knock, and they are starting to run away with this match.
I mean, the preemptive question that I'm already posing now is, does this actually change the outlook for, well, I guess either team, but certainly by extension HASIB Warriors for their fight for the top 6? Does it change that discussion, or is this more so a case of a best-of-1 inter-regional matchup, and it doesn't really have a flow-on effect? Again, it's a question that can't really be answered until the end of the stage, but I don't really know if I've seen enough from Knock Knock. They've played well, but I think we've definitely seen an off night from HASIB compared to previous matches.
As much as it sounds like lazy
Oh, it's a cat!
storylining, man,
Look at
Rhymes
that
with Buck.
cat! That's a very furry cat. I wanna pet it.
I bet you do. I bet you do. To try and justify HASIB's position a little bit, as much as this sounds like lazy analysis because I can't put my finger on why, I just think there are certain matchups between different teams that there's just like some history, there's some personal aspect to it that always favors one team. Same with No Cap and Fury. Like the two Thai teams, they know each other so well, they've had this rivalry for such a long time. HASIB could be the better team against every other team in this league, but Knock Knock are the better one in this head-to-head. I'm convinced of that.
Okay. I believe you. I can hear the conviction in your voice. I see another Mav though, James, and you know what? You know where we are. We're top 4, so there's going to be action over towards IT Breach. Fatar is playing the Bandit, but hopefully we see a bit more of a clinical clear of the wall here from the attack.
5 seconds remaining. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Is this where the Knock Knock find match point? I wonder. We haven't really seen how they deal when it comes to complicated heartbreak situations. Let's see if Fatar can live up to the standard that was set by Sandy in the first half.
Let's see. So we'll see the stack then. Envy also getting in on the action. Maybe he has secondary hard breach. Or Impact Amps rather, okay. Impact Amp, maybe they're trying to bait the kill? No. Mav Ace, Bandit tricks Ace. Mav then tries to get the kill onto Bandit. I feel like they could have just done that off the rip, right? Had the Mav prepped ready to go to try and get the kill initially. Instead, they've kind of butchered the wall a little bit. And it's not opened up. And Fatar's been able to escape.
Are they going to actually get a proper breach on? I think they're a little bit scared. Thermite is the one, yeah, back in position now. They're confident the Bandit can't get into position. There's no Tubarao, of course, because it's banned. There's no Kaid trick. Oh my god! There was no more EMPs! It's literally just a Bandit battery! It's literally just a Bandit battery! He's going to go for the trick on the wall, and then I guess the Grim can destroy the rest, but man, like, Jittery could have just used one little bit of the Maverick at the bottom to shoot off the battery. And finally he's made the wall soft, and now they can open it up with a shotgun, but that's so unfortunate.
It looks sloppy, but even more importantly, it just wastes so much time. Just Maverick it off the rip, maybe try and get the kill initially. It seemed like they just didn't really synchronize on a single plan. It was just really messy. Either way, though, a minute to go, and all 5 attackers still up. There's no 2 or 5 defenders, so HASIB have been able to fortify their position on the objective. They still have the Azami to play around on site as well, which would offer some really good protection. Fenrir up 2, and so provided Dean is able to rotate that utility correctly, this could be a tough push for the attack. Conwell still open, or pardon me, still hard yet to be open up. But this is what we should have seen on the main breach. The Mav in combination with Sandy. Nedox gets the kill, and 5 versus 4, but a trade back.
Winnable. Oh, big C4. This makes it awkward now for Knock Knock. Try and grasp onto that match point. 20 seconds to play. They have flashes to enable these entries. I'm not sure they do. Rhymes with Bark has been good on that flank. Here comes the oh-so-important breach into the site. There are still good positions from HASIB. That C4 is way too early. Good flash. Still biding his time is HASIB, and he waits as he peeks the corner. Sandy, though, the shining light in this game, completely unaddressed is HASIB. Sandy's got to clutch up, but there's no time. HASIB, they've saved themselves from match point, but the game is not done, and there is a long way to go to make this competitive again.
Yeah, this is some Rainbow Six, that's for sure. Got very messy towards the late round there between the 2 teams. A continuation on from the kerfuffle over towards the breach initially from Knock Knock. Time became an issue. It meant that less mistakes could be made, and I think it compounded with the utility that laid before them.
Attackers need to locate
an entry in
and
towards
as many
site.
bombs as they can.
So HASIB can swipe the sweat off their brow after that particular round, and now focus up for the tertiary. This is what is probably going to more than likely make or break their campaign here tonight.
Yeah, man. Another really strange round there. I would love to see some tightenings up on these hard reaches. I know we've obviously been talking about that constantly. But,
10 seconds to insertion.
yeah. This tertiary site, though, is the most exciting one for me. This one just has the most ability to do different things. Make it about map control, don't make it about tunnel visioning on one wall.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Oh, mate. I tell you what, I'm calling it now, that Frostmat wins the round.
Ooh.
Flip it and ship it in 2.5 minutes time. That Frostmat wins the round.
Okay. What are you thinking? Like a 1v1 and the attacker jumps in it or something?
I'm thinking Knights versus Direwolves for a spot at the Berlin Major.
now that's an obscure reference.
On Chalet. APAC South fans, there's a callback for you.
Ross can definitely determine round results, that's for sure, if it goes unchecked. And we'll see what happens. So the Mav in play, need Jammer to be cleared.
Dang.
Easy stuff. A little bit easier than countering the Bandit. Won't see an appearance this round. The castle is in play though. I'm quite intrigued to see how the defense plays those barricades and how the defense play around it. Probably to fortify off against the horizontal work down below. And next to the objective. Unless of course it's been used above to cut line of sight. That's also a possibility. Shock drone from Sandy now over towards games. Able to deal with some default information, which is always good.
Did you plan that?
I don't know. I think he did.
You're right.
A bomb has been located.
He's gone in with the Twitch. I'm not sure exactly what his priorities are to look for here. Oh, this is really good. The Grim in combo. I mean, I would have liked to see a Deimos. The Grim's not terrible with the Buck. But of course, the player can just run outside the Bs and is no longer going to get tracked. Wait a second, Jittery is inside. Usually it's not possible to play here until the very end of the round. Okay, it isn't possible to play there, it turns out. He gets taken down. HASIB's in a really hard to flush out position as well. He's behind bulletproof cover, and the Buck is dead. No longer going to be pressuring him from below.
Yeah, the tertiary site here doesn't look great for Knock Knock, unfortunately. Unable to clear above, then looking to be far more direct, and that approach was always very high risk, and they got little reward for that. Envy and Rhymes with Buck now in the 2 versus 5. Envy will push forward. Position now known, and those critical shots don't land. Likely to be taken out from Burt from up above, and that is the case. A 1-for-1 trade. And as able to clean up top floor. Important round there for the defense on the tertiary site. They convert.
Very pivotal round, such a needed one as well for HASIB. And we're one step closer to tying this up. Knock Knock struggling on their attack when it comes to those loosey-goosey, map control-y, flush out key positions, formulate and execute kind of plans. I just don't think that Knock Knock have quite what it takes there. I think that their strengths tend to rely on those really specific bits of tech. Like, they were great when it came to countering the Thermite, the Ace, the hard breach charges with the Bandit. They were great at countering the Maverick with the C4 as well. That probably should have been a kill for Envy. He did end up trading himself directly. It could have been a different round. But Knock Knock just a little bit disjointed on that execute onto site. Like, we had a guy, I think it was Jittery, in sight so early on. And unfortunately, he's not in a safe position. He's not planting either. And he's not really playing aggressively. He ends up dying to a play he didn't know was there. Very strange way for the round to play out.
So some Deimos action then here for the 10th round. I'm quite intrigued to see how Sandy looks to play around with Deathmark. That will be available to him. Up to 11 kills already in this match. Doing a good job at leading the charge here in the lobby. Could be used to try and target these players off-site. For instance, Taha over towards servers to kick things off. On that Valkyrie. He'll be doing his best to try and protect that information, keeping an eye on that. Jittery is on the IQ, so hunting down those cameras should be a priority for him throughout the round.
How aggressive is this round going to be? See a player in CCTV, but I just don't really know if HASIB are going to fight to the death or if they're playing to fall off. Taha does have his hatch open at least. He shot 2 drones. He's almost ready to fall off now. Like, play a contact fight here. Ooh, yeah, perfect. Even if you hadn't on that, this is where he drops off. Yeah, 100%. That's perfect.
Oh.
C4 could be good.
Oh,
the timing is perfect for Taha. Maybe he is the MVP after all.
I think he was just trolling on the blitz. He was just wanting to get ready for the second half.
Dang, nah, Sandy's back. Sandy's my GOAT. My MVP.
My GOAT. I actually hadn't been taking note of his kills. Obviously with the new overlay now it's shown less frequently, but...
Yeah, it's an interesting change that.
12 kills
they
now.
did that.
Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, 12 kills. I mean, just outside of even the util game that he was playing earlier. It's very impressive. Oh.
This should be a freebie. This is so close. Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately the bars go the other way, so he's not going to win that fight. Or not going to blind that pre-fire. At least they've done a good job of forcing the roamers back, but I don't have a lot of vert capability here to really flush out these positions. And you're walking into crossfires here. On the shotgun here, you're not going to win against that. Surely not. Dinner's in great position. Just needs to not overpeak.
45 seconds and then key fight over towards Exo. Jittery. Looking a little bit afraid to take this contact fight. Din, shotgun, up close, 30 seconds on the clock. It's not looking great for Knock Knock, but Sandy. The salvation in this round that perhaps they needed.
Sandy, 3K. Suddenly things are flipped and he's got the track
15 seconds to
onto
go.
the Legion of Baz. One of the great players on this roster we've seen good things from. Big from HASIB. He picks on the back of the contacts. Sandy goes back now. Diffuser has to be planted by him. And Rhymes with Buck has got a cover. Here comes Baz coming around that corner. Sandy needs to be covered now. Good from Rhymes with Buck. Oh, a bit of a potato on the second one, but he gets the shot. Knock, knock. Finally, they've got their match point. Rhymes with Buck. It's time to fire up and finish this off.
Wow. Match point then for Knock Knock. Not the result that many anticipated heading into this particular game. Again, how much of this is a foul matchup for HASIB, a tough matchup in the context of this league, or perhaps could Knock Knock be the ones to surpass them come the end of this particular regular season? Only time will tell, but a good effort tonight.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
And
by
HASIB
attackers.
reminding Jittery that he's only on the 1 kill so far tonight.
Yeah,
That's a bit toxic.
Oh man, they are. They're really going in. I do wonder how much is real toxicity between these
Yeah, I
teams,
know.
like an actual rivalry, and how much is just like all mates from the same region. I would love to know. But this has been a really tight match. Sandy has just been unreal though. Like, this is a life game from him. Always been a solid player. Never one that I would point to and be like, yeah, no, this is a serious talent. And this is the game of his life right here.
I love the reaction as well after the round ended.
Yeah.
Fired up.
Yeah.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Do they win it from here though? I can't help but feel that a game is never over until it's over, especially in regards to South Asia teams. Time and time again, they get in good positions and then struggle to convert. So we'll see. But at the moment, a lot of positive signs.
Maverick is in a very dangerous position for the man who's meant to be in charge of opening this wall that nobody can open up. Are they going to go for the top and bottom? Or are they going to try and just counter the bandit juggle and then get the exothermic over? I like that Rhymes with Buck has gone and open up this other wall first just to make sure that gets done. Ooh, here's an gnarly angle too. No way! No perspective!
Sandy,
I have no idea how Fatah lands that shot with the hollow sights. What is that angle? It's disgusting. And yeah, you're right. My goat is dead.
My goat is dead. No, Sandy. Well, Knock Knock don't win the round. No Sandy, no Knock Knock. That's the rule. I don't write them.
Unironically, you're probably right.
Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. Now that is some proper Mav combination with the rappel against dude.
Double!
I'm
Far
loving
out,
this.
man.
I'm loving this game. This is my favorite game of the stage. Unironically. This is so good.
Man. Okay. Well,
I'm reloading.
I do love that. That's so pretty. Here we go with the secondary shotgun. Finish off opening up this wall. Yeah, it's as good as a thermite, right? Hey, you got your 2
Attacker's
kills.
bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Don't snub your nose at a
Attackers
Maverick
recover the
anymore.
diffuser.
Let's see if the 4v3 can be converted. This could be the match point Knock Knock have been looking for.
Yeah, his army barricade still laid in towards site though, so the clear may be a little bit tricky. Grim to assist though from Envy. You can hear the Hive launcher going out. Ahad down below. Blue Stairs still has a Nitro in pocket as well, so that could be quite impactful. 45 seconds to go then, and Knock Knock progressing through Warehouse.
They're going to try and breach this wall into sight. It's dangerous. No hard breaches are in position for it. I don't know. Oh, yeah. All
Attackers have
on the
located a
side.
bomb.
This is a single backstab player. No! Din's gone down! Dex just saw the feet. He landed some good shots. He was on camera as well that whole time. That could have been a good, easy pre-fire. And this should be the end of the road for HASIB Warriors. Man, they have had such a good stage so far. One of the only teams to take the fight to bleed, but they cannot take the fight in their own damn region because Knock Knock have swung the door open and charged on through. A massive game from them. And the full 3 points taken. This rivalry will continue.
Yeah, wow. I mean, proving many of the doubters wrong tonight. Knock Knock, and in quite a comprehensive fashion, able to get that result across the line, Rob, it certainly keeps things spicy for the fight towards the top 6.
Yes, Michael, I agree with that. It certainly does. It's a game that...
Look what it's done to my hair.
Yeah.
That's so stressful.
So you got some greys now, do you?
Oh, I had many greys before, then I got thousands more after it.
He's starting to Albert Einstein it, that's all I'm saying. A very interesting match. That was actually... I mean, it was very entertaining to watch. There's no two ways about it. I actually would have hoped for overtime between the two teams because I think that would have been truly deserved. But Knock Knock just looked and felt leagues above at that point, Dev. I don't know whether maybe HASIB just... Maybe it is just the South Asia team diff because they've probably scrimmed each other so many times at this point that they know each other's play style through and through. But HASIB didn't look like the same beast that we've seen them in the past.
Yeah. I'm convinced that Knock Knock just have the number of HASIB now. Like the last time that they played and HASIB actually won in a series was way back in March in the qualifiers for Stage 1 of this Asia League. And ever since then, they've met in a couple of BO1s, they've met in a couple of BO3s, both in the qualifiers for Stage 2, in Stage 1 itself, in Stage 2 now, and of course in the EWC quals every single time. It's been the same story, Knock Knock coming ahead. It's been close games, but it's always Knock Knock that get the win. And yeah, I mean, huge for Knock Knock. It's points on the board. It's a chance to come on the camera as well for the interview, which I'm really keen for. And they played really well. This is probably their best game that they've played. Definitely so far this stage, but maybe the whole year.
Guys, there were some interesting plays throughout that, and I could hear a fair bit of giggling going on with some of the rounds. There were just some things that were going either horrifically right or horribly wrong. I don't know which one the better analysis is there, but overall, I mean, this is just... From Knock Knock to consistently be beating HASIB and then kind of being in that talk for, top 6, it doesn't get much more important for a roster like this to be able to do this consistently as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a big result, and I think it now means they can realistically put a target on the backs of, your Direwolves of the world. I think that matchup now could be really intriguing. If they play out of their minds and Direwolves have even a slightly off day, that match has all the makings of being, quite competitive. Even by extension, HASIB, I also think they had a bit of an off night tonight and still at their best, as we saw previously, they could be quite competitive in that environment. But unfortunately for them, they don't get the advantage of the points tonight. So it's a big 3-pointer, and we'll see what kind of ramifications that has in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, unironically, Sandy... very interesting game tonight, Dev. I think maybe had a couple of free kills, but nevertheless, there were a couple of moments where, like from an individual point of view, those are the kind of players that you look to, especially on rosters that aren't completely structured, like we see most of the Southeast Asian teams. They have their moments. They have their moments of brilliance, and it's important that realistically, they just continue this trend with, as Knock Knock, you just continue this trend. You continue to best that team in your region. Those 3 points are so crucial, as Guz was just saying, for the later parts of this stage. But we don't have to wait any longer. We actually have an interview with Rhymes with Buck. Very interesting name to say as I welcome him into an interview. My friend, can I call you Buck?
Sure, of course you can call me Buck.
Fantastic. I love it. Buck, look, obviously a very important 3 points on the board tonight. We're going into this game, there's been a lot of comments about HASIB and kind of the leaps that they've taken coming into Stage 2. A lot of the teams are looking at them as a threat, but, tonight you guys showed that you're still besting them every single time you turn out in these best of ones. I mean, how does it feel to consistently be their number one?
It feels pretty good. I mean, I'll be a little honest. It was getting a little scary. This league hasn't been the best for us. But HASIB, however, they've been making a rumble. Even going 3-3 against Bleed. And after yesterday's Direwolves game, I'm gonna admit, we were a little worried there. But we had our prep done, and we know them. We've been playing them for years. And even though the server wasn't our choice, and we had not a severe, but a pretty bad ping disadvantage, we still managed to win the gunfights, get the game. So I'm pretty proud of our team for that.
Yeah, can you talk to me a little bit more about this rivalry in the South Asian region? I mean, you've been playing in this region for how long now? So many of the players in this game, in this match today, I've seen the names for years and years in South Asia. You guys are in the South in the Asia League, you're playing with these Southeast Asian teams with guys like Speakeasy who have gone to majors, with teams like Bleed, coaches like Julio who are world champions. But what does the rivalry mean within the South Asian region for you guys playing against HASIB?
So, I mean, I know that our teams don't really compare to the top dogs of the Asia League, but in South Asia, we have our own little drama going on. So, our two teams, HASIB Warriors, previously MRCZ, and Knock Knock, even though I was in Shaheen's before, but now there were only two contenders. Actually, Lumina was a big contender as well, but, the upset there. We've had like a lot of drama, a lot of rivalry, and, many issues such as the server selection and also players going back and forth. Like Zedux, he used to be on HASIB Warriors, now he's over here. And it's pretty interesting, the whole region is pretty spicy and I like it. It's fun.
I suppose looking outside of South Asia and then Asia as a whole, after tonight, the top 6 discussion for you guys gets really, really interesting. I look at like Rival and Dials as probably your 2 best chances at taking them down and making the top 6. How do you try and replicate what we saw tonight in those kinds of matchups going forward?
Well, if I talk about in-game, I think we need to play the next upcoming Direwolves game exactly like we did today. Full comp collected, all the comms were really nice. Rival, however, we kind of fumbled that one. It was pretty close, but we were playing without Envy, and what's done is done. But chins up for the Direwolves game, and especially after yesterday's game, I think we have a pretty good chance.
Yeah, I think that South Asia seems to have rocked a couple of these Southeast Asian teams in the past, and there's always that potential. Honestly, I hope that we get to see you back in the finals, because that would be incredible back in the BO3 format. Obviously, we always give you the floor. Is there anything you'd like to say either to your opponents that you've just versed, or to anyone out there who may be watching?
Both, mostly towards HASIB. Come on, man, the server rivalry, it's not a big deal. We just have to play the game. It really doesn't matter. Just have to be fair about it, be a good sport, and that's it. I mean, to our fans out there who gave us a 20% chance to win, we proved you wrong. You know who to vote on the next upcoming Direwolves game now.
Yeah,
the flame is reignited.
Oh, the flame is reignited. You're talking about your own storylines there. Rise with Buck, thank you very much for joining us, mate. And who knows, we may well be talking to you after that Direwolves match.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Well, just absolute Giga Chad. Another Giga Chad on the screen. We talked about it going into this one, Dev. Really, we talked about it throughout the game. Sandy had a bit of a barn burner.
Yeah. I actually honestly learned some things about how to play Bandit, and it's also one of the best Daemos that I've seen recently as well. Yeah, just so good. Not only like individually, it's not like this guy was just running around murdering everyone. This guy was so good with his util on attack and defense. Plus, he was really good with his gunfights. He landed that C4 against the Maverick. Like, this guy knows how to play Bandit in that position down to a T when it comes to the juggling, when it comes to knowing that there's a Maverick there and to fall off and to use the C4s instead. When he knows how to roam clear, when he knows how to clutch up, he knows how to cover. He knows also that when he's on with the diffuser in that 2 versus 2 and Rhymes with Buck has to cover, even though Sandy's been top fragging, he still grabbed that diffuser and went straight for the plant. Not a second of hesitation. Yep. He wasn't worried. He trusted his teammate to cover him. And I have mad respect for the versatility that we saw out of Sandy in this game.
Guys, look, there was a fair bit of banter going into this one, and we weren't entirely sure how much of it was real, but after that interview, I think it's clarified for us.
Yeah, sounds like there's actually a pretty fierce rivalry between the two. I was under the impression, much like you guys probably, that it was rather friendly. Didn't know there was, server drama and all kinds of stuff going on.
I want to dig into that. What was the server we played on tonight, by the way? I don't know if the admins can tell us.
I'd be really confused, because surely these guys would both be similar ping to like UAE North or to STA, right? So I don't know. Clearly that's not the case, as Buck said himself in the interview. So apparently,
I don't know whether Southeast Asia is a. Yeah, I don't know exactly where all these players are located, but I think HASIB Warriors are mostly Bangladesh, like nationality. Knock is mostly India and Pakistan. So I don't know if it makes a huge ping difference. Like, obviously, it's a very different part of the world to where we live. We only have one. We only have one server in Australia, and like, if you live in Perth, you just bad luck. Like, so yeah, I don't know if maybe HASIB really want to play on a server that advantages them, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm here for the drama. I love it.
Oh, I'm always here for it, mate. Anytime there's a bit of infighting, whether it's in a region or whether it's I don't care. I live for it. I absolutely live for it. Look, kind of going back on some of the games tonight, guys, is it fair to say that it was a bit of a sleeper night?
Oh,
That's harsh.
yeah. I was gonna say that's a little.
You reckon?
A little bit harsh.
Come on.
I think that the Elevate Fury game probably prevented it from being a sleeper night. If that was a little bit
That's
more
fair.
one-sided, I think that would certainly be a fair assertion. It really makes the storyline for Fury now far more pressing than it was heading into the night. I thought that they'd be able to definitely brush off, the OT loss against No Cap and the loss against Bleed and Regulation pretty easily.
Sure.
But now, as Jake alluded to, right, they are now fighting for seeding in the playoff bracket. I also agree with James that at some point you're probably going to have to verse Bleed anyway, so you may as well just get it over and done with early anyway. But I think in terms of grand final rematch, could that possibly now be thrown into disrepute? Potentially. As for all the other games, yeah, they were relatively sleeper. South Asia rivalry, though, was also pretty good way to top off the night.
Well, I'm glad that both you boys disagree with Xenox, but you got to remember it is Jake at the end of the day, and he is one half of the Jake and Gus show. So, you got to be careful. You got to be really careful when you get down to it. Let's have a look at the standings and how things have shaped up after tonight's matches. Elevate and Bleed continue to secure a huge advantage at the top. 4 points clear from third place, and it feels like they may indeed run away with this. Their matchup next week is going to be hot and heavy. But then when you drag your eyes really down to the bottom of the table there, Dev, there is no free slots really up until about third place. I mean, that could all be a dogfight for all 5 of those teams, which is insane to say because Fury's there as well.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think we would be all surprised if any of No Cap, Direwolves, or Fury don't make playoffs. It's likely going to be one of Knock Knock, Rival, or HASIB that makes playoffs and 2 that don't. And at the moment, it's looking like Knock Knock. It could be very well and easily be Rival. And if HASIB have a comeback and perform really well against some of the mid to high pack teams, maybe it'll be them. Like, that's the crazy thing about how the bottom 3 tends to work out in this region. The same thing happened last stage with Daystar, Knock Knock, and HASIB. But the one that I'm really excited for next playday is No Cap versus Bleed. No Cap have shown that while they're not perfect, they do have a fire underneath them, and they did lose to Elevate the other day, but we've seen them beat Fury before. We saw how good they were today with their 7-1, and Bleed, we haven't really seen them tested yet. They, of course, haven't played Elevate either, but they took out Fury really easily. I want to see what No Cap can do against them. And then Direwolves Knock Knock. Honestly, maybe there is something in that game. I wouldn't be surprised, and after how confident we saw from Rounds with Buck in the interview today, I'm actually getting a little bit more excited for that match than perhaps I was previously.
Yeah, I'm really upset we only missed our chance to ask Rhymes with Buck where he got his name from and what the origin is from. Because
I mean, what does rhyme with Buck?
Truck.
There's
There's another
Muck.
word. It starts with F and it ends in UCK.
Fire truck. Yeah.
Fire truck. That rhymes with Buck.
There's duck. There's look, there's a couple there. There's a couple, but
There's also a couple more, but
Stuck.
I don't really want to keep going down this way because it's just going to get worse. There's Ruck. Guz, anything that you'd like to say? I know how much you love having the final word of the broadcast, the most important part.
you've teed it up beautifully, Rob. I don't want to let you down here. Well, firstly, on a more personal note and broadcast note, we finished about 3 hours earlier tonight than we did last night, so that was absolutely phenomenal. We were playing casual until about 5 a.m. last night anyway, so I guess that was kind of irrelevant. So eager to jump on with you boys in a couple minutes. But
Sure.
Another great night of Siege. Bleed continued to dominate. That storyline continues. Fury under a lot of pressure. So too are Direwolves, and I'm in the same camp as James. I cannot wait for that match against Knock Knock next playday, and I will leave my ramble at that.
Yeah, well, if you're in ANZ, start queuing casual.
Start queuing casual. We will farm you. We will farm you.
We're jumping on. But apart from that, don't forget Monday night we're back for the OS League. That is going to be a barn burner. However, the Asia League is now starting to get very, very interesting. The top is starting to become clearly divided. It is now going to be a dogfight for potentially 5th and 6th place, which will, of course, lead into the playoffs. But that is all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe. Good night, and have a beautiful time.